I'm okay. I mean, I'm really not okay, but yeah, I'm okay.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're exploring Glee, the behind-the-scenes scandals and tragedies.
Hey, roomies. Talking about me?
No, why would you think that?
For this list, we'll be looking at the saddest and or most shocking things that happened involving the cast and crew of the hit series. Sensitive topics will be discussed, so we are issuing a content warning. Did you know about these real-life events that affected the Glee gang? Let us know in the comments. Matthew Morrison kicked off the So You Think You Can Dance judging panel.
You run over there without a second to lose, and what comes next? Hey, bust the move.
Morrison played Will Schuester on Glee. The character never held back from showing off his moves, whether that was to his students, the school as a whole, or his love interests. So we weren't surprised to see Morrison land a gig as a judge on So You Think You Can Dance in 2022. However, to the shock of many, this new job didn't last long, as he was reportedly fired in May of that year, before the 17th season was even done filming.
After he had an inappropriate relationship with a female contestant. The source says they didn't have sex, but he reached out to her through flirty direct messages on social media. She felt uncomfortable and went to producers, who then got Fox involved.
Morrison defended himself, stating he had only initiated contact to help the dancer get a choreographing job. However, the damage was done, and he did not return to the show.
Matthew has previous experience working on dance shows in the UK, where collaborating with contestants was encouraged. He didn't think this was going to be an issue.
Deaths of crew members. The folks who work behind the scenes on any TV show tend to be less well known than those we see on camera, but they're the backbone of the industry. Unfortunately, the Glee crew has faced numerous losses over the years.
I know what it's like to lose someone. When someone dies, it hurts.
One of the riggers took his own life. A production assistant, Nancy Moats, who was Julia Roberts' half-sister, also took her own life in 2014. Then there was Matthew Morrison's stand-in, Mark Watson, who passed due to a car fire. And one of the series' assistant directors, Jim Fuller, sadly died of a heart attack, as did one of the show's prop workers.
It feels like a piece of me has been ripped off. Just one more time, I want to hold her.
The death of Matt Bendik. Not all of the tragedies involving the show happened directly to the stars and crew members. Sadly, some also happened to their loved ones.
I understand what it feels like to have something like that happen to you and feel like nobody understands.
Becca Tobin, who played Kitty Wilde, experienced a big heartache in 2014 when her boyfriend, entrepreneur Matt Bendik, unexpectedly passed. He was in his 30s at the time.
Those who knew the couple say they were very much in love. Their future was bright. Bendik ran several major clubs around the country. He was a managing partner of DBA Hollywood, which today posted a sign that said, "We love you, Matt."
While the cause was initially difficult to determine, reports later speculated that he died from a heart attack. We can only imagine the grief Tobin experienced at the time. Thankfully, she's since found love again and started a family.
I now pronounce you husband and wife, partners in life, and each other's best friend. Make out now!
Lea Michele and Naya Rivera's feud.
I just got you on the cover of New York Magazine.
In the background, you were practically glowing about it.
That's because I accomplished something. It had nothing to do with you.
No, see, it actually has everything to do with me.
Rachel Berry and Santana Lopez had a tumultuous friendship throughout the show's run. And it seems like life may have imitated art with Lea Michele and Naya Rivera. In Rivera's book, she talked about the complex bond she had with her co-star, and it seemed like their on-screen relationship mirrored their real-life one.
When two people with strong personalities are friends, or in any kind of relationship, they're eventually going to clash. And maybe they'll get over it, maybe they won't. Leah and I didn't.
Rivera's father has also reported that she and Michelle, quote, hated each other. It seems they were both ambitious, assertive, and talented enough to resent and respect one another. It was also revealed that Rivera wasn't the only one who struggled to get along with Michelle, but more on that later.
You are short, you are awful, and that is never gonna change.
Blake Jenner's arrest. Blake Jenner played Ryder Lynn starting on the 4th season of Glee, but in the years since the show's series finale, Jenner has been in the news for many negative reasons.
Police say that during the traffic stop, Blake displayed, quote, objective signs and symptoms of alcohol intoxication, and was asked to perform a series of standardized field sobriety tests to which he, quote, did not perform the test as demonstrated and instructed.
In 2022, he was arrested and charged with a DUI. His blood alcohol level was over the legal limit when he was caught missing a red light, but he was let go the same day.
Blake will be required to appear in court at a later date.
Though he never got any jail time, he was reportedly sentenced to probation and counseling. This was actually the second time he had faced such a charge. The first occurred in 2014.
Ryder just needs to apply himself. Ryder's smart. He just needs to work harder. Focus, get it together, man up.
Claims against Lea Michele. Rachel Berry was not an easy person to work with. Even though some people loved her, there were seemingly twice as many who hated her.
You have sold half the people in this room down the river more times than I can count so that you can get a solo or the lead in a musical. And I'm pretty sure that you don't know the names of the other half of the people.
That's not true.
Unfortunately, it seems things were similar behind the scenes with the actress who played her, Lea Michele. Samantha Marie Ware, who played Jane on season 6 of the show, spoke about numerous, quote, traumatic microaggressions she experienced from Michelle.
Lea once threatened to have her fired after Samantha goofed around off camera when Lea was filming a performance scene, but she doesn't believe Lea would have followed through, adding that when she tried to speak up for herself after the incident, Lea told her to, quote, shut her mouth, and said Samantha didn't deserve to have her job.
Many former Glee stars, including Heather Morris, who played Brittany S. Pierce, agreed that the star was rude and awful to work with. Michelle, for her part, has since apologized.
I apologize for my behavior and for any pain which I have caused. We all can grow and change, and I've definitely used these past several months to reflect on my own shortcomings.
Melissa Benoist's revelations. Melissa Benoist and Blake Jenner divorced a few years after Glee wrapped, with the split being finalized in 2017. In 2019, she came forward to share her heartbreaking experiences.
I am a survivor of domestic violence, or IPV, intimate partner violence, which is something I never in my life expected, I would say, let alone be broadcasting into the ether.
The actress chronicled a number of injuries she sustained during an abusive relationship. Though she didn't explicitly mention Jenner by name, she didn't need to. The timeline and details made it clear who she was referring to, and Jenner didn't deny it.
I take full responsibility and accountability for the hurt that I inflicted during my relationship with my past partner. Emotionally, mentally, and yes, physically. I am sorry.
Benoist has since remarried and welcomed a child, and has talked about her recovery journey. Her openness is sure to help countless people feel seen, and we hope only good things are coming for her.
I still come up against obstacles, and that's normal, and whenever I do, I cross that bridge when I come to it.
The death of Naya Rivera. Santana Lopez was one of the most popular and beloved characters on the show, and fans came to admire both her and the actress portraying her. Unfortunately, Naya Rivera passed away in 2020, and the devastating news hit everyone hard. She and her son Josie went boating in July, but she was declared missing when they didn't come back as expected. While he was thankfully found soon after on the boat they had rented, the search for her continued.
For 5 grueling days, rescue teams searched day and night, the Glee family holding vigil lakeside.
Sadly, it was ultimately revealed that she didn't make it, having gotten caught in what was most likely a rip current. The immense showings of love that followed for the late actress and her family remain a testament to her legacy.
My sister, even though she was acting, was touching people's real lives and helping them become who they really are.
The death of Corey Monteith. In 2013, Corey Monteith, who brought Finn to life on the musical series, passed away. He had substance use disorder and faced a relapse after years of sobriety. He entered a rehabilitation facility, but sadly died a few months later in July.
Staff became worried when Monteith failed to check out on time and found the star's body unresponsive in his room.
The Glee episode that pays tribute to his character is titled The Quarterback, and is the most gut-wrenching of the series. We can barely hold back tears while watching it.
He's dead. and all we've got left is his voice in our head.
The show talks about remembering how he lived rather than how he died, and it's clear by the reaction following his passing that he was truly loved and made a hugely positive impact.
He was the first cool kid to be nice to any of us, and he was our leader in here. We love you, Finn.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You'll have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Mark Salling's arrest and death. Mark Salling was the person behind Glee's Noah Puckerman, a football player and member of the New Directions. In a disturbing turn of events, he was charged with assault in 2013. This suit ended in a settlement. However, in 2015, he was taken into custody as authorities had reason to believe he was in possession of illegal materials involving minors.
Mark Salling wouldn't answer the door. They had to use a battering ram to get into his place. Secondly, when asked to hand over his password to some of his devices, he refused to do it.
Their suspicions were subsequently confirmed upon investigation, and he was indicted in 2016. Salling proceeded to plead guilty the following year. He took his own life in 2018, shortly before he was supposed to be sentenced.
Last month, Salling entered a guilty plea to the charges and agreed to serve between 4 and 7 years in prison.